Welcome, I'm Emma, and today I'm going to go through a beginner series sun salutations. We do the sun salutations to warm up the muscles of our body and to create energy with our breath as we flow through the asanas or the poses. So for our sun salutations, we're going to get started at the top of the mat in mountain pose, also known as Tadasana. Mountain pose is our foundation pose. So starting here at the top of the mat, we want to focus on our feet. Taking the toes, we spread the toes wide, creating a firm foundation. From there, we lift up through the arches of our feet. As we lift up through the arches, we make our way to our knees, having a subtle bend in the knees. We engage the glutes and the thighs. Our core muscles are active as we stand here, supporting the body. Taking our attention into the shoulders. The shoulders are released and relaxed away from the ears, and the palms naturally tend to drift forward. Here in mountain pose, let's just pause to take a few breaths. It's important to begin our class with a few breaths to center the body and the mind, and come into the present moment. So breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. We breathe in fully into the belly, feeling the belly expand. And as we exhale completely, letting all of the air out. We take a couple more breaths here in our mountain pose. And when we're ready, with our next inhale, we're going to reach the palms to the sky. Exhaling, we're going to sink the hips over the heels, coming into chair pose. And here we want to shift the weight into the heels so we can wiggle the toes in front of our face. Inhale, we release, sweeping the palms to the sky. Exhaling, sinking into chair pose one more time, starting to flow with our breath. This time we inhale to sweep the palms to the sky. Exhaling into forward fold. From here we hinge from our hips, reaching the arms back, bending the knees as we're not very warm yet. And then releasing the gaze to the back of the room. Taking our next inhale, we reach our body forward, bringing the palms to the shins, extending the spine through the crown of the head to the front of the room. Finding monkey pose. Exhaling, forward fold, using the belly to pull ourselves forward. From here, we step our left foot back into a kneeling lunge pose. So sliding the toes back and coming down to that left knee. From here, we want to find a firm foundation. We want to check to make sure that the knee is in line with the ankles. So if we find that the knee is kind of pushing out over the toes, we want to slide the foot back out a little ways from the body. This ensures that our knee is protected and our foundation is even stronger. With our breath, from here, we'll inhale, lifting the palms to the sky. Exhaling to release the palms to the mat, and we'll tuck the right foot back, and slide into child's pose. Hips sink over the heels. Using the breath again, we pull the body forward, coming into a kneeling plank pose. From here, we shift the shoulders over the wrists. We spread our fingertips wide, and as we exhale, we begin to lower ourselves into crocodile pose. So lowering our body as one piece. The shoulders drop, and then the hips. As we inhale, we lift cobra pose. In cobra pose, we're doing the work in our upper back so that our fingertips can lift up off the mat. We're not pressing into the mat with our hands. We're lifting with the back. From here, we exhale into child's pose, so pressing the palms into the mat now, lifting the core muscles. So the elbows are squeezed tight, core is lifted, and we exhale back into child's pose. From here, we inhale, stepping forward with our left foot into our kneeling lunge. So sliding that foot forward again, checking to make sure the knee is in line with the ankle. And then firming the foundation, we inhale to lift. Exhale, releasing the palms to the mat. This time we step forward into a forward fold, tucking the back toe and returning to the front of the mat. Gentle bend in the knees again, inhaling into monkey pose, extending the spine forward. Exhaling to hinge, forward fold. And then from here, we inhale to reverse swan dive. We sink the hips to the floor, and we reach the palms all the way up and around. Exhaling, we release the palms to the heart center. We pause here for a few breaths. And then we're going to repeat on the other side to find balance. We inhale when we're ready, sweeping the palms to the sky. Exhaling into chair pose. Again, the hips come over the heels. Palms reach forward. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, chair pose. Using the breath, we inhale to lift. Exhaling all the way as we release, reaching the heart towards the floor. Bending the knees. Releasing the gaze. Inhale, coming into monkey pose. The spine lengthening. Exhaling, using the belly muscles, we pull forward fold. From here, we step our left foot back into a kneeling lunge. Again, checking where the knee and the ankle are. Inhale, lifting, crescent lunge. Exhaling to release. This time we have the option to step back into downward facing dog. So if we'd like to try that, we tuck the back toe and we carefully lift the right foot back and we release that foot to the floor. Let's take maybe a few breaths here to pedal the heels and just pause to feel our downward facing dog. We can always move into child's pose if that's more comfortable. Again, using the breath, we inhale forward, coming into a plank pose. Let's come down to our knees. And again, shift the weight over the shoulders, over the wrists, and begin to lower. Exhaling into crocodile, dropping the heart and the hips. Inhale, lifting the cobra pose. Again, doing the work in the upper back. Exhaling this time, again, option to go into child's pose or to tuck the toes and lift all the way into downward facing dog. Using the breath. From here, we inhale the left foot forward into a lunge, bringing that foot all the way to the front of the mat, coming down to the right knee. Inhale, lifting with control, reaching the palms to the sky. Exhale to release the palms to the mat, stepping forward to forward fold. Inhale, lifting into monkey pose. Extending the spine, exhaling, pulling to the forward fold. And inhaling to reverse swan dive. Lifting the heart, reaching the palms to the sky. Exhaling, palms to heart center. And that completes our sun salutations. For the sun salutations, you can complete this series as many times as you like to feel warm and energized and ready to move on with your practice.